Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on CodeChat today. My name is Jeremy Foster. I'm glad to be with you. You can find me online anytime at codefoster.com. You can also find me on Twitter at CodeFoster. And if you want to engage with CodeChat, the show, you can find us on Twitter. You can chat on Twitter about CodeChat using the hashtag CodeChat. So if you want to recommend topics for CodeChat or discuss past topics or ask questions, I can try to address those on the show, whatever. Want to be on the modern social networks. That's important.
That's important.
And also, I just added feed capabilities for CodeChat. At least I added nice URLs for it. So if you want to subscribe to the video feed for CodeChat, just go to codefoster.com/CodeChat/feed. And you can just add that to your podcast app, and it'll start pulling in videos. Those are MP4 videos. And if you want just the MP3, so just the audio track, which I know I like when I'm commuting or I want to put my phone in my pocket or something, then you can do the same thing, codefoster.com/CodeChat/feed/audio, and then you're going to get just the MP3 podcast. So that's it for business. Now I'm going to introduce my guests on the show today. We're here talking with Cameron and Jan. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Doing great.
Thanks for coming out and talking with me on CodeChat. We're going to be talking today about enabling multi-language support in your software, right?
That's right.
Yep.
And you guys have a really cool tool that you work on, and what's it called?
Multilingual App Toolkit, or we call it MAT for short, because that's a mouthful.
Matt.
Awesome. Okay, well, can you tell us maybe a little bit about the problem that Matt solves for us?
Sure. So today, as a developer, you're working in your project, and if you're working in one language, everything's fine. You can focus on your code and get her done. If you want to add a second language, you have to take a look at how you replicate those resources in the other language name and manage the folders. If you add a third, you have one more folder you have to add. After a while, keeping things in sync, making sure that if I make a change to a string in English, that I remember to make the change in French and so on, becomes more and more of a task for you. So there's a lot of manual steps, and it becomes difficult to manage and maintain over the life of an app. The Multilingual App Toolkit, or MAT, gives you a workflow that really streamlines everything. We're really excited about it. We've seen some great uptake from devs, and we're here to tell you a little bit about it today.
Well, just to back up a little bit, why do I even care? I mean, why don't I just create my app in the language that I speak and publish it that way?
That's a great question. If you think about multilingual communities, and so it's easy to say, well, there are French people speaking in France or German people speaking in Germany or so forth, but if you think San Francisco or Seattle or New York City and start to recognize the diversity that exists, you start to look at the data about that, you realize that there are markets within markets that are multilingual.
Okay.
And so you can add a language like Spanish in the LA marketplace and wind up picking up a very large segment of people for whom English is their second language and their preferred language is Spanish.
Okay, so for a developer, this is not just me being a good citizen and supporting other languages. This is also a big benefit to me, right? I'm expanding my audience.
That's absolutely right. By adding a few languages, you can capture another 80% of the world's population.
Wow. Wow, so it's pretty big. Have you guys seen this happen in apps?
Yeah, actually, I have an app that I did, and it took sign language in high school.
Okay.
So I wrote a Windows Phone app called Fingerspeller, right?
Okay.
And I put it out there and made it in English only because it's American Sign Language. Who would care? Well, I went ahead and used MAT, and I added about 5 or 6 more languages to it. Just put machine translation on them and republished. And I'll be darned if United States is less than 50% of my downloads now.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, because people want to know about how to do American Sign Language, and they don't care about their native language, they just want to know how to do the gestures. So it was a great app that is US market specific, but had world value from a language point of view.
Wow, that's great. It's nice to kind of have a number and see what, it's not just a benefit, it's a pretty significant benefit.
Oh, I was surprised.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to just turn English off.
It's only half.
That's right.
Okay, so what is this tool? Where does it plug in? Is it standalone or what?
Yeah, currently MAT is a standalone off MSN download. So if you just go into Bing and just type Multilingual App Toolkit, it'll take you straight to this page. It's the first link. And you'll see on here that this is just a quick download, and we do localize it into 11 languages. If you click on it, you get a download that's about 2 megabytes. So you can see it's 2.33 megabytes.
Okay.
That's everything.
All right.
You never need any more than that. So I have already installed it. So here we'll have Visual Studio 2013. Interesting enough, it works in all Express SKUs as well. So if you have Desktop Express, Web Express, all the different Express SKUs, we activate in it.
Excellent.
So we thought that would be a good thing for our developers, and so we went ahead and did that.
This includes TFS support as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, TFS builds pending. We passed all the tests. We're just waiting for the install cycles.
Excellent.
So we're really excited about that too. So what I have here is I decided to take an app that I found off of MSDN. So I went up to MSDN and I got myself the dialog box sample. And this is, someone wrote this in 2009. Absolutely not localizable. So I went through, and the first thing, perfect example. The first thing you want to do is you want to go through and you actually want to make your data localizable. So I've done that, right? That's actually very key. When you're writing an app, all the new templates are localizable by default. Don't rip that out. All you're doing is limiting your potential.
Okay.
Right? So I went ahead and done with this one. So I've installed the toolkit, and what I do now is go to the Tools menu, and I simply just say Enable it.
Okay.
So this says I want to do more than one language, the easy way. So we go ahead and enable it. And
when I hit that enable, does that do something to my solution or something?
Exactly. That's why you saw a quick refresh.
Okay.
We have to unload the solution. We add a couple of build tasks into it.
Okay.
And then we reload the solution for you.
Okay.
And that's just a one-time event, and you're good to go.
Okay.
At this point here, you'll notice that in my project, I now have a XLIF file.
Okay.
And
what's that?
This XLIF file is an industry standard localization format. It's metadata rich, and it's how we really key all of our workflows around it.
So this is not just a Microsoft thing. This is the way multi-language.
This is a non-Microsoft standard. So
Yeah.
this is an industry standard that we have adopted.
Okay.
We're not looking to invent anything new. We're just looking to make your life easier.
Yeah.
As a company, we would have had, as part of the TC, the Technical Committee in the OASIS XLIF standards group, to make sure that it would work for us as we were looking to drive it for software localization. And all of our software translation companies that support us understand the format. So we know that the industry has a profound knowledge of it, so that whatever you give as a developer, they're going to understand how to use it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
So what we do by default is we add in pseudo-localization, or as we're now calling, simulated language.
Okay.
I use that in all my development, and the reason why is I can find immediately where I'm not having localizable data. So
okay, so I think some people are completely lost by that. What is pseudo or?
So pseudo is really just markups on your English strings or your native strings. So when you visually look at it in your application, you go, that one's been marked up, this one hasn't. This must not be localizable. And it's like instant.
Yeah, it's really easy to tell.
And you can just flip through like this through your app and you go, okay, here's my bugs, I'll go fix those bugs.
Okay, so it makes it easy to find the resources in your page. Or actually, it makes it easy to find the things that are not currently resources.
Makes it braid and simple. Because if you translate, like if I translate it into French or I translate it into German, I'm going to be able to see the difference. But some German words are actually the same as the English word.
Yeah, right.
And without the uniqueness of the pseudo that we put on it, I won't really be able to easily spot it. I'll have to do more of a look and pick, and I don't have the time for that.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah.
But we're not going to go into pseudo today.
Okay.
That's great talk for another session.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do what most developers do because they don't understand the value of it. I'm just going to go ahead and delete this.
Okay.
Okay, boom. So now, so far I'm at 3 clicks because I deleted a file. Simply right-click on your project, say Add Translation Languages.
Okay.
And it will bring up a dialog box of the Windows languages. And I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick jump to French.
Okay, and there are a few French.
There are a few French. Now this is important. We won't get into all the characteristics you can do with it, but regions have language specific.
Okay.
So French Canadian and France won't be the exact language for all words. There'll be a lot overlay, but not always the exact. So this gives you the ability to tune even farther down.
Okay.
In fact, if you really were good at fancy, just do French language neutral, as we call it, and then add French France for the differences.
I see.
So you can get a broad scope and then tune for your market.
I got you.
But for today, we're just gonna target France. I simply click OK, and I get that XLIF file back.
Is that all it's done? It's created an XLF file for me?
It's created an XLF file, and this is a WPF app, so it's a desktop app.
Okay.
And this file has been pre-populated with the strings.
Okay, so this is a WPF app
Yep.
right here?
Yep, this is a desktop app.
Okay, and what is Matt going to work in? What kinds of apps is it going to work in for me?
The different technologies?
Yeah.
You want to take that one?
It works in all of your modern app development that
Okay.
we support today, and
Windows 8.
Windows 8, the universal apps
Okay.
that have come out now, as well as the desktop apps.
What about
So it's very
JavaScript
rich.
apps in Windows 8?
Windows 8 apps, JavaScript apps, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's part
Okay,
of
good.
that.
And phone.
Great.
Yep.
Excellent. Phone and Windows. That's
Yep.
excellent.
And we support WPF. We support WinForms.
Okay.
We do support kind of ASP.NET.
Okay.
There's some parts of it that we don't support.
All right.
But if you're using the resx file formats, we support that aspect of it.
Okay.
And one thing we don't put on our site that we do support, hopefully it works, because we didn't have a chance to test it well, monogame.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, yeah. Games have some pretty unique localization
They do.
considerations, don't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and just jump to the chase on this one. I'm just going to generate machine translations because I want to see what this looks like in France.
Okay, so that was kind of a right-click add French
Right click,
there, right?
right click, add French,
Boom.
machine translate.
Okay.
Now, the key about the machine translate there is what we did is we went up to 2 services. These are live services. The Microsoft Language Portal, which takes all of Microsoft's translated languages and puts them into an API level service that we're accessing.
Okay.
So these are all of our products that we
Yes.
have shipped and paid to have translators professionally translate them. We call them translation memories.
Okay.
We hit those with this API to bring results back for our dev friends.
Does that by chance include Office?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's big, right?
Yes.
Yes.
This is a big service. This
You
is
name,
gonna
the,
contain
you
a
name the
lot.
product. If Microsoft has shipped it and made translations for it, we just
Yeah, the
access
strings
them.
And all that's available to me as an independent developer.
free.
For free in
That's
every
tremendous.
SKU, including
Yep.
Express.
Okay.
And that's our first provider. Our second provider is the Microsoft Translator Service,
Okay.
which is 100% machine translation, which is a pay-for service.
Okay.
I don't remember entering my credit card here. So with Matt, you get access to that service for the static resources. In
Oh,
other
wow.
words, give me
It's
translations
a loophole.
Totally
for
free.
free. It's a total loophole
By design.
by
Yeah.
design.
Loophole by design.
Yep. So you never have to worry about it. You can make all the localized apps you want, and you won't get charged.
And Matt is really using both of those services, right?
We're using both, and we're comparing the results, and we're picking the best result.
Oh, interesting.
In fact, let me back up for 1 second. If I go back to my add translations, you'll notice on here we have different icons.
Okay.
The icons represent the providers that are available.
Okay.
This one supports both providers. Machine translation is the only one that supports the native Arabic.
Okay.
Arabic in Egypt is supported by both of them. But so if you add your own provider in, you'll show up here, and you can add your own in.
Excellent.
So-
Wow.
All right, and then since this is a desktop app, the way the localization model works for desktop apps is, and this is the point I want to make, we're not changing the localization model, we're making it easy to use,
Okay.
right? So you're still compiling native XLIF files and then into resx files. So you see I have my French resx file here, which is what everybody's familiar with when they're doing .NET localization.
So in other words, if I was doing this on my own and I'd never heard of Matt and I'm not using Matt,
Yep.
I would go and I would create a French resx file.
Exactly.
And I would do, I have all of this capability,
Yes.
it's just hard.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you would have to have a little notepad where you go, oh, I added a string here, I took a string there, let me go to this
Yeah.
other file. One of my phone apps, before Matt, I actually had a friend manually translate it to Russian. It was a royal pain.
Oh, wow.
Then I added a new string, and I added it into Russian, and I forgot to put it in the English file. And I almost shipped with the blank resource on my English file.
Oh,
So it's just a pain to synchronize
right.
these things.
It's hard to keep it all on.
So with this, I never worry about it again.
Okay.
Okay. Now, since it is a desktop apps show the language of the logged in user.
Okay.
Since I'm logged in as English, I'm going to do an override in the code.
Okay.
It'll save me from logging out and logging in as a native French speaker,
see.
especially since I'm not. So the way I do that is in my AppX, I just simply say, I define an override language,
Okay.
and if it's defined, I activate it.
Okay.
That's all this is.
Okay.
No special magic.
Yeah, right.
These are using the globalization APIs that Windows comes with. So I'm just going to press F5. I think I'm going to press F5. All right, let me do it this way. Let me build it. And then I'm going to go ahead and run it. So you notice I haven't really done much fancy stuff with this.
Yeah.
I literally have said, give me French, translate my French, and run my program.
Wow.
I did the override because I'm not logged in, but other than
Yeah.
that, it was pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
This is now in French.
Okay, and this was just one language, but it would be just as easy to add a whole bunch of other languages. Kind of a right-click add German, right-click add
That's
Swahili.
In fact, if you want to save steps, you could just say add language and multiple select languages, and it will put them all
select
in
a whole
once.
bunch of them.
That's right.
Yep.
It's even easier.
So I mean, I've got different. This app is set up so it has different localization defects in it.
Okay.
Like for example, this here is localized, but some of my text for my menus up here were not.
Yeah, right.
If I had sudo running, which is how I set this demo up for, you would see blatantly that those were missing.
Okay.
Okay. So, real quick, that's
Now,
all there is to it.
How practical is it that I can just right-click add French, rely on the machine translation, and can I ship this?
You know, you can ship anything you want. I think the real question is, how do I manage my language quality?
Yeah, right.
Right.
That's what we're talking about.
With machine translation, sometimes they're great, sometimes they're not so great.
Yeah.
You own the quality of it. So let me open up this file here real quick and show you how that works. So I'm right-clicking on the XLF file to open it up in an editor that ships with that same download.
Okay. And what is this that just opened?
This is the multilingual editor that comes with the toolkit.
Okay.
You'll see here that we have a flag of the different states of the translation.
Oh, helpful.
Currently it's on needs review, and the reason it's on needs review is these were machine translated.
Okay.
And so we want you to be able to ship them if you want, but if you want to be able to say, I only want to ship once I've looked at everything, you can go through each one and change the state to sign off or final, whatever workflow works for you.
Okay, so
or you can just ship this.
once a French speaker has looked at it and said, that makes sense to
Yes.
me, he can go
Yes,
final review.
that's exactly right. Now,
So let's talk about how they get this tool. So if Cameron would right-click on the project, on the file there, we need to send it to them somehow. Now they might be in a dorm room right next to you if it's a small dorm room, or they might be on another continent, they may be anywhere, right?
Okay.
And so with Matt, when we export, we have a couple of different ways to do that. We can go ahead and send it to a network share somewhere, or OneDrive, okay, and say it's right there, or we can email it to them.
Okay.
All right, so if we take the email as an example, what you'll see is that you got the file location, the mail recipient, the path, okay, export as, so we can send it as XLIF, we can send it as CSV file, zipped up, okay. We can compress it as we're sending it, and then if we go ahead and send it off to the mail recipient, they'll get it in an email, and they'll also get the link to the download if they don't have Matt.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and when they go ahead and click on the link, if this is not a developer, we really don't want them to pay the tax of downloading Visual Studio
Sure,
just to get this tool. So we take a look, and if they don't have Visual Studio installed, we'll go ahead and give them the editor, which of course is free like everything else. So they can go ahead and open up that XLIF file, do all the work that you've seen that Cameron's got with the flow control and everything in there. And they can also do translation suggestions there with our language services that we provide, just like we can in the IDE. Okay, and then send it back to you. When it comes back to you, you import it back in, and we take a look for the differences of what you've got and what they've sent, and we import them in and handle the merge for you, so that you don't have to worry about synchronizing all these files.
Oh, excellent.
and one of the cool features of that import, because you could just copy the file back over, but I actually had a customer call up the other day and said, hey, I'm broken. Well, they didn't import. And so what happened was the vendor they used had double entry in, so the schema was invalid.
I see.
So we're saying, well, this file is invalid. And it was really easy to fix, but if they were to import, the import would have notified them and they could have solved it a lot easier.
Yeah. Okay, so we're talking about a couple of different workflows for enabling another language here. One of them is I can say, machine translate this whole thing and then send it to my French friend to check it out, make sure it looks good, and send me back suggested changes. Or I could skip the machine translation altogether and just send it to my French friend and say, translate these from scratch for me.
That's
Absolutely.
correct.
Probably, you know, buy them lunch or something, huh?
Yeah.
I know of devs that just have a bartering service. You do one language, I'll do another, and they have a common language between
I'll build you an app, you translate them for me.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that.
That's right.
Well, that's really cool. So I think that hopefully the concept is clear, that we're not really reinventing the wheel as far as multi-language here. We're just making it a whole lot easier.
Correct. Yeah, I don't want to redesign a localization model. I just want to give you an easy workflow.
Yeah.
And we want to provide it at every scale. So we've given you the environment that works in Express SKUs all the way up to enterprise, so that whatever your development process is, that you find that if you're working with the types of apps that we're supporting in Visual Studio in our IDE,
Yeah.
that you have this rich, easy experience that really, really should save you a lot of time and energy and defects.
Yeah.
Okay, and reach those that extra huge marketplace out there that you're missing. That's just kind of hard to get to right now.
I think it's the right approach. I mean, if we can, there are a lot of things that I need to do as a developer to broaden to basically make my app accessible to people with accessibility concerns, accessible to people that speak languages that I don't speak, whatever. And the only reason, I mean, it's confession time, most of my apps are not localized. And the reason why is because it's been so hard, right? It's hard to learn about ARIA tags and enable accessibility things in my apps. And it's hard to learn about the localization and globalization. It's hard to look at all the resource strings, and it's hard to manage all the languages. And so just lowering that barrier seems like the right way to encourage developers.
That's exactly right. Our job is to take the tax out of localization. Every developer I've talked to, including myself, says the same thing. It's like, it's too much work. I'm not sure I'm going to get any market penetration with it anyway, because it's an American Sign Language app.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm just going to sit on English and see what happens. And I'll monitor my downloads, and I'll see if I have some French and whatever. And if I get enough, I'll add that language in.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Why don't you just ship with machine translation French? I don't get negative feedback on the language qualities because they are small words, and so the matches are pretty good.
Yeah, right.
So it's a pretty safe bet rather than ignoring the market altogether.
Yeah. And I imagine it has implications not just in the sheer number of downloads that I end up getting, but also in the quality, like in the ratings that I get. Because if a person feels at home in my app, like I'm speaking their language.
Absolutely.
You guys seen that?
Yes.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yes. There are a lot of indicators for, is my app, can I read it in my language in the store, yes or no? All right, so when you're looking at the localization that you really want to do to finish off the effort, to capture them, you're going to get much, much better results if you're thinking that it's like the accessibility piece to the extent that if I can't read it in my language or write it in my language, it doesn't give me the value.
Yeah, right.
Right, although the functions might be very high value, it's actually, can I access them and can I deal with them?
Yeah.
So providing that internationalization, that multilingual approach really, really does help developers reach a huge world out there.
Yeah, and at this point, it's oftentimes, I think, easier than a feature that you might be adding to your app, and if you can just add this kind of cross-cutting concern and make your app suddenly available to a much broader audience, it's better than taking the time it's going to take to add another feature.
Yeah, do
Absolutely.
both.
Yeah, do both. There you go.
We've given you the time to do the other feature.
And like Jan
point.
mentioned, just doing that little bit extra work, now you're discoverable.
Oh,
Someone may even want to run your app in English but can't find it.
Now talk about that a second. How does it make it more discoverable?
Because when you publish an app to any store, that store is going to show it to their native language. So if I'm in French, for the example of this one, it would show me all the apps that are French, and I would have to take an effort to go look at the non-French apps.
So is it pulling metadata? Is it pulling these resource
when
strings
you publish,
out?
When you publish, you state, I support these languages. For Windows Store, it'll actually pull the resources out of the file and say, here's the language supported, please provide native descriptions and keywords. And with those native description keywords, you're going to get discovered.
Wow, that's great. If I'm a developer, I mean, you guys showed some cool stuff here today. You showed a tool that was in Visual Studio, and it's also standalone. What are the things that I need in order to get started with this? It looked easy, but what is it that I need?
Really, you need to, there's really two things you need to do. One is you need to make sure you're using the localized templates.
Okay.
So that's really easy
project
to do.
templates, so file new project.
When I say file new project in Visual Studio 2013, almost every single one of them already use the localizable model.
Okay, so there's a resx file.
There's a resx file, there's a res.json file for your JavaScript, there's a red.w for a Windows Store, a universal app. You're set to go.
Okay.
The other thing you need to do is, we don't ship inbox with Visual Studio as of today, so you just need to go to aka.ms/mat install.
Okay.
And that will take you right to the MSDN download page. Just click the install button and you're good to go.
Okay.
It does come in the Visual Studio languages, so you can download it in your language if it's not English, and use it just as fluently that way as you would in ENUS.
So it sounds easy to get started.
It's extremely easy to get started.
Good.
And if you have any questions, email multilingual@microsoft.com, and either Jan and I respond.
That's
We
very
do. We're
accessible.
there. You can email us directly.
That's very accessible.
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else you guys want to add about this?
Check out our blog,
Okay,
aka.ms,
that's helpful.
Matt blog,
Okay,
and we do have a user voice site,
okay.
and aka.ms, take a guess, Matt
Matt.
voice.
Matt voice. Okay,
Right.
perfect.
But yeah, let us. We want feedback. We want to know what you think of the product. We're always looking at improving. We
Okay.
also love the hey, I love it. Keep up the good work, you guys
Good.
do.
All right, sends a little kudos.
That's
huh?
right. Kudos work for me.
All right. Hey, awesome. Well, thank you guys very much.
Thanks,
That's
Jeremy.
really
We really
informative stuff.
appreciate coming.
All right. Okay,
Thank
well,
you.
thanks for joining us on CodeChat. This has been fun, and we'll see you next time on CodeChat.
Go chat. Thank
See
you.
ya.